Happy Thursday, beautiful souls, wherever you are on this phenomenal planet. It is time for Shift Your Thinking Daily, where we transform our inner experience to a phenomenal outer experience. For now, 10 minutes of our day, we do it together. All right, before we jump into today's message, let's go ahead and take a couple deep breaths. Let's breathe in and down. Breathe in and down. Woo! You hear my voice? My voice is, I need to rest it. Okay. Say hi, say hello, drop a comment down below if you're new to me. Welcome. My name's Puerto. I'm also known as Super Agent. I'm an international speaker, public educator, agent trainer, creator and founder of many cool things, projects, webinars, and conferences, books and merch and all that wonderful jazz. And I invite you to learn more about me, support, stay connected at lasuperagent.com. And also you can continue to connect with me on all your favorite social media platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at LA Super Agent. Go ahead and turn on post notifications. That way you don't miss any new episodes as they're uploaded. And if you are listening on the radio podcast, thank you. Thank you for supporting and growing our channel. Really appreciate you wholeheartedly. So I am asking you to actually provide feedback on any of the content that I've shared, the episodes. Would love to know what you think. Would also invite you to share who should I interview next as a part of our Ready, Set, Real Estate feature show. What else is happening? That's about it. So we're going to continue our series from Dean Del Sesto's Shift Your Thinking, 200 Ways to Improve Our Lives. And you guessed it, 200 ways in this book, which means at the completion of the series, we will have covered 200 episodes. Okay, let me just wet the whistle. And I'm going to caption this episode 142, Decide in advance, or even just make a decision. Make a decision already. I think I like that. Make a decision already. He says I'm in a section where he says deciding in advance of a thing will always advance that thing. He says life is composed of decisions. Good decisions equals good life. Bad decisions equals do the math. He says whenever we go into conversations where decisions will have to be made, the norm is to use the conversation as a tool to gain all the facts needed for the decision. This is so timely because I just had a great conversation with Carl. Also, Carl's a fashion designer and a event producer, and we discussed about collaborating on some things and concepts. And I heard Evan Jefferson of ERGJ Enterprises talking about his event and just the level up conversations that you have with like-minded individuals. So there's something profound when you connect with people that are like-minded to really level you up. You've got to make that decision though to have the discussion and then take it to the next level. He says, not a bad approach, but the tendency to engage without thinking through all the potential realities in advance is really a novice way to go. He says, so rather than entering into the conversation when we've thought about all the potential directions and defined our decisions, drop in the comments, defined our decisions and responses in advance, he says, we step in unprepared, undecided, unresolved, and uncertain about the outcomes and potential surprises. He says we wait for the conversation to fill in the blanks that could have been filled in before entering, making a decision, being prepared. He says generally, it's so funny because I was thinking about this today and I said, gosh, I operated my day without doing a task. I probably was not as effective. I know what didn't get done. And I know what took up my time. And it's so funny that when I fall off and I don't decide to do just do it today, I become half efficient. But that's okay. Negotiate some deals, putting some things in escrow, getting clients responsive from counters, scheduling different appointments, new appointments, all kinds of, activities are still happening, referrals from out of state. Those things are getting done. And so I feel productive. I am productive. I was productive. It's just I wasn't operating as clear as I could have been to advance my to-do to the next level. So that's me I'm being accountable to that I didn't do that today. He says, generally a brief bit of time thinking on what options you'll consider and how the decisions will affect you and others will drive a more specific and relevant conversation. He says, for example, if you go in to ask for a raise, it would be wise to have the following in your quiver to pull out if and when needed. Things like the value of your job position, how you've impacted the company. He said the ways you've gone above and beyond, the dollar value or ROI of your contributions, what things would be like without you. He says the cost to the company if you were gone, etc. What is your added value? What are you bringing? Be clear about that, especially when you're going in asking for a raise, because the first thing they're going to say is, well, what have you contributed? What have you done? He says, now for the decision points, the exact range you'll be willing to accept, looking for X of dollars, but willing to accept Y dollars. And that's being very clear. That's part of negotiation. Know where are you willing to compromise? What you're shooting for and what you're willing to compromise. What is that number? Know the number. He says the terms and timeline of the promotion, what you'll do if the range, terms, and timelines are not met. He says the more specific you are in advance, the better. Thinking through things in advance takes away the surprises, keeps the conversation from veering off track, and makes whoever you are conversing with take you much more seriously because you're resolved, clear, and very prepared. I'll say that again. Thinking through things in advance takes away the surprises, keeps the conversations from veering off track, and makes whoever you're conversing with take you much more seriously because you're resolved, clear, and very prepared. I like that. And that was good. Because it reminds me that I'm asking my clients the appropriate questions when we are negotiating offers. It's what can you do without? What are you willing to accept? And as long as that we're asking those questions and being very clear, we're all on the same page, it makes negotiation a lot more easier. With that being said, I'd like to invite you today to take the moment on anything that you're working on, albeit a raise, a project, an idea, a concept, a meeting that you have coming up, relationship that you have coming up, and ask yourself the questions. I always say ask yourself the hard questions, but ask yourself the questions about being prepared for what are you willing to accept? What are you willing to do for that? What are the terms? What are the timelines? Know the answers to that in advance. That way when you go ahead and present, it's easier to move things forward because now you have the answer. All right, with that I say I love you. Thank you, and have a powerful and productive day, and I'll see you tomorrow as we continue Shift Your Thinking Daily. Bye.